First, start again. So we're very honored today to have uh, Patricia Burden, who is the Wayne County School Education Board, and she's going to update us on her role and tell us about what's going on with the schools and COVID.
All right, thank you very, very much. I want to thank you for inviting me to participate in this program. I don't have any flyers or slides. I'm not a computer expert, but working toward it. But I just want to share some information with you. I ended by telling you that I had done 42 years as a school educator. And now I serve as the District 3 representative of the Board of Education for Wayne County Public Schools. I serve the central attendance area of Goldsboro, the Central Heights area, and part of the Eastern Wayne High School area. I have 4 high schools in my district. I do have 3 elementary schools and 2 middle schools. The job of a board member, let me tell you how I got on the board. I retired in 2011, and I was working with Mrs. Thelma Smith as the scholarship chair. Because of her illness, she needed me to assist her in doing her work as scholarship chair of the Dillard Goldsboro Alumni and Friends. And I didn't know that she was really preparing me to step into that position. She wanted to know if I would consider running for the school board if anything happened to her, because she was very seriously ill. And I told her that I would think about it. And, you know, I was from the district, so I was willing to consider it. She passed in 2014, and the community came to me and asked me to consider it as well. And so I applied, and I was selected to complete a 2.5-year remainder on her term. And I have run twice for the Board of Education, winning both times, thankfully. And I'm now in my second 4-year term, and I'm beginning the 2nd year of this term presently. The job of a board member is first to develop policies for the Board of Education. We take direction from the State Board of Education, the North Carolina School Board Association, on which I serve as a director for Region 3, and the General Assembly. So we have a 7-member board, but you could have more or less members to your school board. We must first make sure that we are in compliance with all of the mandates set down by the 3 organizations that I indicated earlier. We must make local policies to ensure that our schools are efficient, that they are safe, that they are orderly, and strong in the area of instruction, because that is what our job is, to teach students so that they can learn the material and apply it accordingly. Now, board members also advocate for not only their constituents, but for the stakeholders of the school system, our students, our parents, our teachers, our administrators, and all other employees of the Wayne County Public School System. And it is our job to make sure that they have those things that they need so that they can be successful in their roles, which would help us do the job that we are here to do. One of the things that I can say about Wayne County Public Schools is that we work diligently to ensure that we meet the needs of our students as well as their interests. In the last 3 years, our career technical education department, that you would probably refer to as vocational ed, our federal programs, as well as our teaching and learning department, and that is our curriculum and instruction department, we've worked to implement some innovative programs in the Wayne County Public School System. They include the diesel program, the AP exhaust program, the Firefighters Academy, Project Believe, which is a special program for our elementary students that may be having difficulty functioning in a large classroom and will need some assistance. They are not suspended, but they are worked with at a different location. And while they are there, they're working on the work that is being taught in the classroom. So we have teachers there to work with them. And then when we return them to their regular schools, they should be on task with the rest of the class. And then the dual immersion program. Now, we were piloting that program. We started at Spring Creek Elementary because of the number of students there that speak a language other than English. And what we wanted to ensure is when they completed their program, that they would be bilingual. Now, we haven't had an opportunity to expand that program because COVID came in. And so that took us in another direction, because the key for dealing with the pandemic was to make sure that our students and all staff members were in a safe environment and that we could continue the instruction. We did have to close for a while, and then we attempted different scenarios, some virtual, some sending home hard copies of the material. And then when we made it through those 3 or 4 months, the General Assembly mandated that we would have to do a summer school program that had to be 150 hours. That to me was very difficult, because the teachers really and the students found themselves finishing that 50 hours, and many of them were ready to start another school year, the school year of 21-22. And we started off with a mask mandate, because we have to follow the Strong Schools Toolkit, the CDC, and of course, our North Carolina Health Services. And we have to follow through with anything mandated by the government, by the governor in terms of an emergency situation. So we started off school for a few weeks with a mask mandate. And then we went to, we started off school without a mask mandate. Then we went to a mask mandate. And then we went to an optional mask. Students could wear masks, or students did not have to wear masks, as well as the staff. We returned after the Christmas holidays, and we found ourselves back into a concern regarding the pandemic. And we could not get the votes to just say all students and staff will wear masks until further notice. But what we voted on is that if 8% of your students and your staff had COVID issues, then your school would be designated to wear masks at least for a 2-week period until further notice. At the present time, we have 91% of our schools where the students and staff are required to wear masks. Only 2 schools in Wayne County, and we have 33, only 2 schools in Wayne County have not fallen under that mandate. One is Carver Heights Elementary. And this is my personal belief, I believe that they have been able to stay away from this 8% because they have continued to wear masks all along, the staff and the students, and their parents have been extremely supportive. And I am going to assume that Eastern Wayne, it may not have been mandated like at other high schools, but the majority of the high school kids have stayed focused on wearing their mask in school. So hopefully, as the months pass, we will have a reduction and they will go back to a different system. We vote on this on a monthly basis that is mandated by the General Assembly. And so you can change from one month to another. But right now, that is the decision that we're under. We always receive a monthly update, giving us data about what is taking place in our state, what is taking place in our county, and what is taking place within our school system as it relates to the pandemic. Students right now at this time are not required to be out or to be in quarantine for 10 days. The strong school kit went to 5 days. If you are in a classroom and a student sitting next to you contacts COVID, but you are wearing a mask and you are not with that student longer than 15 minutes, then you remain at school. So this has allowed students who are healthy at the time to not have to leave school and be on quarantine. Now, people have asked, even with the snow days, why don't you go directly to virtual or remote learning? In Wayne County, we are not able to do that at this time because we are not a one-to-one district. That means that we have a computer for every child, and we have enough that's in the school that children can take home the computers and keep them there, and also have computers at the school site. We basically are in the process, we have ordered, and now we are preparing them for distribution. So we do plan at one time to be a one-to-one school, but presently we are not. We are at the high school level and the middle school level, but we are not at the elementary level. One of the reasons is because of the damage that was done to computers last year during COVID, lost computers, and then computers that had already aged out. So with money coming from the state of North Carolina and the federal government, you hear of ESSER funds. We have been able to purchase and meet our needs in that area, but we have to get them distributed. And right now we would start at the high school and the middle school, and the elementary will be our last level for doing a one-to-one. We are presently in the process of building a new school in Fremont. There is a need for this school. It will be hopefully to address 700 plus students, and it would allow us to reduce the overcrowdedness at Northwest Elementary and Northeast Elementary. So we have the architect, we have the design and all of that. We are waiting to apply for a new grant that would give us some additional funds in order to build this school. It will be in the design of Meadow Lane Elementary School. Not as large, but it will be that design. We are also working with Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. It's very important that we can address the needs of those students who have the opportunity to travel and experience different cultures. And we are working to install a STEM school on the base of Seymour Johnson Air Force Base. It will be a Wayne County public school. 50% of the students will come from the base, and 15% of the students are not connected to the base. So there will be a lottery system like we use for Wayne School of Engineering and winches. At this time, we have a floor plan of a facility on the base. As a matter of fact, I have a meeting tomorrow morning where we will go into more details. Our major concern would be busing our students to get them to school there. This school is going to be called Wayne School of Technical Art. It is going to be focusing as a STEM school, and it is to give more students opportunities for advanced placement course level. Students will be able to graduate with an AP capstone diploma, and that will indicate that they have had instructions in 5 being science and research based. And it is somewhat like the programs that we have where we have dual enrollment with Wayne Community College, but they will be receiving this in their own unit at their own school site. So those students that might be interested in cyber security, or they have the desire to be an astronaut, they will be students that would have an interest in enrolling in this school. We also have a program going on at Eastern Wayne High School and Charles B. Aycock. Those two schools were selected due to their large enrollment and their ability to offer a large number of AP classes. And they will be doing that in the area of science, math, business, and of course, if you pass an AP course with a score of 3 or better, it allows you to get credit from the college that you attend. So it reduces the number of courses that you would have to take, and it allows you to save funding. We are continually working to better assess the needs of our economically disadvantaged students. We are working to have funds that would allow us to retain teachers, allow us to give bonuses in the hiring of teachers. That has been a problem this year. We lost a large number of principals as well as teachers as of December 31st, and we don't have teachers to replace those individuals. One reason is we don't have that many individuals taking education courses at the college level. They are finding that they can work and receive better pay elsewhere. They are going into computer technology and the health services, and that is causing us to have problems in finding master teachers. And that is a serious problem because learning begins with the parents. I would tell you that they are the first teachers, but when they enter school, it's very important that we have master teachers in the classroom, along with strong leaders as principals to guide the educational program of that site. And when we don't, our children suffer for that. So we do have that concern at this time about filling our classrooms with master teachers. We
Wonderful.
address.
I have to stop
yes.
you because we have other people to speak.
But first, let me give you kudos. Thank you. Thank you. Like, give her a round of applause for the great work she's done and is doing. And quite frankly, there are people out there that need to consider a role such as hers in their own communities that way. I've got it. I mean, you're busy. I see you're busy. You're focused and you're getting stuff done. One thing I'd like to have and schedule some time with you in thereabouts. As a matter of fact, the school board is responsible for over $170 million in spend. What could happen if 10% of that money went to minority businesses? And if that's possible, how we proceed, what kind of vetted businesses it could benefit. And it also does come back to our community. So, you know, I'll pull you, I'll tug your ear. And as a matter of fact, you know, I mean, and you know, I really appreciate you, Ms. Burden, because you know, you're busy. I see it. You're working. You're getting it done. And your voice, believe it or not, I mean, and as I mentioned, Ms. Thelma Smith, we knew her well. She was a great asset to our community, and she did great work. You know, and as quiet as it's kept. You know, we got back in 2014. And as soon as I arrived, I knew her son, Raymond, and I told Raymond, I said, Raymond, you know, you really should think about taking your mother's seat. I said it like that. And I told him that he should consider going after the representative spot. But you know what? Quiet as kept. I'm glad you took her spot.
Yes.
And he went someplace else. But we're going to pull your ear and we'll sit down with you. Thank you so much for being with us tonight, and thank you for the great work you do. And we did a campaign with her when she was running, and we endorsed. I'm so glad about that. Yeah. So thank you so much. And so with that being said,
you did a forum, and I got to speak. Yes.
Yeah. Another area I think this group could help you is we have a lot of veterans in our group,
Yeah,
and I don't see, and they're fully qualified.
right, right.
And I don't see why they couldn't be the future
Right,
principals and
right.
teachers
Uh-huh.
taking those spots,
Right.
because this group has definitely got a lot of veterans and families of active duty.
Right.
And so
Personnel.
we've got a very strong military base in this group. So I don't see why we can't motivate them to take positions in the schools.
More work
But
to
I
do.
have to keep
Let me
moving.
just tell you
Otherwise,
this.
we'll be up all night.
We do
Let's-
have,
Go ahead.
we do have restart schools, and we use many of our military wives to come in and teach in subject area where they might not have a degree, but they have great training in that area. So we do use them to help us. And I've already been in a situation at Goldsboro Middle where we hired veterans coming out, having retired, and then going into education. So
good.
it is
So-
something that we do.
So
Yes.
let's coordinate.
Yes.
Let's coordinate.
Let's-
Thank you so much, Ms. Burton. I appreciate you and all that you do. And so we're gonna end
Thank
this.
you.
So we're gonna end this
We're gonna end
segment.
this segment and move to the next.
So you're watching Brightside Global Trade. It's a podcast, online TV. We're launching our magazine that can come straight to your inbox, so you never miss a video or an event. So make sure you subscribe to brightsideglobaltrade.org. And thank you for watching with us, and all of you for giving us this night to come and share your expertise, your knowledge, and your business with us. We really appreciate you. And thank you, Colonel Donna Ford, for that wonderful presentation on goal setting, and to our school board board member, Patricia Burden, for that excellent presentation.